Three gods stood still, Ra, Thoth, and Mat, each knowing the other's breath. They wove the stars with mirrored steps and held the storm from death. But Set turned eye from Set's own kin and carved his truth apart, till word became a prison code and broke the common heart. A priestess gripped the golden scale and weighed the lotus bloom. Its root ran red with others' toil, its petals faint with doom. She burned the temple ledgers clean and walked through ash and scar, then turned her face to Nubian wind and called things as they are. In secret chambers men grew fat on cries they never heard, while scribes transcribed their hungry creeds in law's inverted word. Their hands, once made to heal, now reached to tighten gilded binds, and truth beneath their script decayed in corners of their minds. A thief with no name carved a sign in granite near the Nile. The viziers scoffed, but children came and copied it in style. It spread like whisper, fire and blood, until the lords took note, and when they asked, "Who dares speak thus?" they heard, "I am the rote." Yet others cried, and none replied, their names erased mid-song. Their sandals walked, but left no print, their pulses were not strong. The sun passed through their beating chest, but no one knew their place. They were the ones who'd lived and died, but never bore a face. A stain upon the western gate called one to seek the veil. She walked through jackal-haunted dunes and left no second trail. She drank the fault, she fed the flame, she broke upon the gate, and mercy met her hand with steel, and mercy changed her fate. But some turned back, refused the path, and hid the broken deed. They laughed at ghosts, denied the cut, and let their ulcers bleed. The silence thickened in their lungs, the curse became their breath. They'd rather rot with hidden wounds than walk the road of death. A judge, robed not in white but dust, raised hands with quiet grace. He pointed not with sword but time, he spoke to every face. And those who listened found the beat beneath the outer war, a dharma drawn in shifting sand, a karma at the door. But some lost grip and screamed at sky, each moment torn by spin. They built new gods from flashing signs and tried to pull truth in. They mapped the stars with broken glass and still proclaimed the frame, while those who felt the pulse withdrew, unable to name the name. A daughter of Bast sensed change before the cobra kissed the moon. She inked the scent, she struck the drum, she summoned life too soon. The glyphs aligned, the wind replied, the sick began to stand. And every step she made rewrote the surface of the land. But one day came no pulse, no sign, the river would not sing. The healer touched the trees, but found no shimmer in the ring. Her song collapsed, the winds withdrew, the flame forgot her face, and silence swallowed every grove she once had made a place. One smiled behind a veil of masks, each eye a different hue. He bowed to pharaohs, danced through courts, and whispered what was true. When spies were near, he sang a jest, and none could pierce the frame, but every word, if rightly read, could still ignite a flame. Until one day they took him plain and heard him out of tune. They nailed his mask upon a wall and cursed him by the moon. They said he lied and struck him down, then laughed to hear him scream, not knowing they had killed the song that held the gods in dream. A lion walked from alabaster, roared and chased the night. The cities stopped, the clouds bent low, the cobras coiled with fright. And in the heat renewal stirred, the Nile reversed its spin, and every soul that once was dim now felt the light within. Their roar was mimicry, their light a brittle gleam on stone. They shaped eternity in glass and left it cold, alone. A sermon lit with stolen sparks refused to catch or climb. The altar cracked, the air withdrew, untouched by breath or time. A jackal leapt through sand's long hush and brought a fractured shell. Inside it swirled the rites of time, the whispers lost to hell. The priest took breath, then cracked the urn, and saw what he became. A child of change, a flux of truth, a new yet older name. Masks of clay were passed like rites, remade but never torn. Each bore 1,000 declarations, none of them reborn. Their surface danced with borrowed change, their marrow stayed the same. And twilight found their silence whole, their spirits still unnamed. The forge cracked once and metal moaned, a pillar split in two. The lines collapsed, the code unstrung, and still the wise pushed through. Their minds held shape, their dreams drew flame, their hands remade the laws, not just to build, but bend what breaks and find the cause in flaws. Some spun design without the pull, the weave without the weight. Their hands stitched hush where cries once rose and blessed the shape of fate. Their blueprints moaned in hollowness, their runes refused the page, until the heavens turned their gaze and knew not whence the age. A name was carved in lotus ash, ignored by every court. Its bearer stood before the gods and found no last resort. But still he stood, and with his mark declared what he became. And then the walls began to breathe, and all the world knew name.